Welcome back to the channel for more Magic the Gathering Commander decks from Tarkir Dragonstorm, and this time is the Sultai Arisen. It's the black, green and blue deck, and it says that you will fill the graveyard and return with zombie druids. Note that specifically says zombie druids. That may be important. The main commander is Teval, the balanced scale. We'll see inside who Teval is, and also there's a secondary commander. So this is the third video that I'm opening for commander decks from Tarkir. If you're looking for the remaining ones, you can find them in the channel. So this has a secret message here that says death is fertile ground, apparently, because you'll be using graveyards to bring back zombies. Okay. What you find inside this deck is, first, there's the deck box for you, which has the dragon and the guy. Then you also have this piece of paper that is now smaller than previous commander decks. It's a good thing. It gives you some idea about what you can expect from this deck. And then there's this lore about the two commanders. So Teval, the balanced scale. The Spirit Dragon Teval. So Teval is a dragon here, okay? He is pragmatic and brutally honest. She's a dragon. She seeks to find a weakness in others, both to exploit them and to guide individuals towards improvement. After rejecting the pact's former leaders made with Rakshasa, I think that's a tiger, right? Rakshasa and the Dragon Lord Silumgar, the Sultai now desire impartiality, checks on authority, and a reaffirmation of their bonds with their environment. Teval's primary role is not to lead the Sultai, but to arbitrate the clan, acting as a monitor on the power of the Fang Keeper and other leaders, a balancing force. So this has been one of the borest that I've read about this, and I got nothing there. And then there's Kotis, the Sipsing champion, once an unassuming human farmer from the village of Kishla. Kotis never intended to become a warrior or leader, but when Silumgar minions came to claim the village harvest, Kotis organized a resistance, driving out Silumgar people and preventing the town's starvation. He served as Kishla's defender until his death. Oh, he died, sacrificing his life during the Phyrexian invasion. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, very boring background story. Kotis, it's Kotis, yeah, so that's going to be the guy that died, that came back. But does it look like this one? So it's this one. Okay, so this deck, sometimes the cards are together, sometimes the secondary commander doesn't appear here on the box. So every story is a story. Apparently these are divided. You have the dragon from one side, and then you have the human, or whatever that guy is. Now, this comes also with this collector booster sample, which I'm going to open. In one of the videos I got the Mox Jasper alternate art, so sometimes we can be lucky with these samples. And wow, a crater hoof! A crater hoof! I don't think this is a bad choice, a crater hoof here. And Sagu Wildling, a common. Just checked here on the side, and that's a crater hoof that's worth around 10 bucks by the time I'm recording this video. Not bad. So Mox Jasper and a crater hoof, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Okay, now deck. The most important part of this video is the deck. I'm just cleaning up here. We have the tokens. I'm gonna have the zombie druids. Here they are. Zombie druids. Plants, goats, more zombie druids. There's an experience counter. I've never seen that one. Treasures, insects. Cristiano Ronaldo. The goat. Yeah. Timeless witnesses. Okay. Let's go. Teval. 4 mana, 4/4 flying. I think they're all very similar to dragons. But then this ability is when Teval attacks, you mill 3 cards, then you may return a land card from your grave into the battlefield tapped. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, you create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Okay, so you create a treasure token probably every turn with the milling, but then this is going to be a graveyard deck, so there's going to be zombies coming from everywhere. Kotis. These full art base commanders are very good. Very beautiful. 3 for a 3/3. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from your graveyard by exiling 3 other cards from the graveyard in addition to paying its other costs. Whenever one or more creatures you control enter, if one or more of them entered from the graveyard or it was cast from a graveyard, put 2+1 counter on Kotis. So this guy will grow. Not that that's a huge menace because it doesn't have trample or flying or something that would make that damage pass immediately. Let's see the deck. But basically you'll be pulling out things from the grave and pumping this guy up. Okay, clearly a graveyard deck. So how is the rest working here? So we have here the Diviner Mist. Sorry, I have something on my eye here behind the camera. A dragon, more dragons, 4/5. When this creature attacks, you mill 4 cards. You may cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard with mana 4 or less without paying the mana cost. So that triggers the commander there. If that spell would be put on grave, goes to exile. Afterlife from Loam. 12. Then for each player, choose up to 1 target creature card in that player's grave. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. They are zombies in addition to their other types. Teval's Judgment. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, you choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You draw a card, create a treasure token, or the zombie. Welcome the dead. It's the Day of the Dead. You draw 2 cards, then discard the card and you lose 2 life. Create X zombies to choose, where X is the number of cards that were put into your graveyard from your hand or library this turn. And it has flashback. There's the landfall, a Florid Evoker. It's a lizard? No, it's a snake. Snake with landfall. And then you discard the creature card to return target land to the grave. From the grave, sorry. Steward of the Harvest. When this creature enters, you exile up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard, and the creatures you control have all activated abilities of all land cards exiled with this creature. That could be good. Will of the Sultai. Who are the Sultai? These guys here. That looks a bit like the commander. Oh, the Sultai, right? So that's the name of the deck, the Sultai Arisen. So I was completely lost here. Sultai, the snake lizard kind of folks. Choose one if you control a commander. As you cast a spell, you may choose both instead. Colossal Grave River. Dragon 7/6 by 4/8. Flying when this creature enters or attacks, you mill 3. Whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put one of them onto the battlefield. Whoa. Yeah. Hopefully those big dragons. Gravecrawler. This creature cannot block. You may cast this card from graveyard as long as you control a zombie. Which? Yeah, the commander is a zombie and the other dragon is a spirit dragon, so it doesn't work with the dragon. Life from the Loam. Return up to 3 target land cards from your grave to your hand. And then it has Wretch. Casualty of War, you choose one, which is you destroy one of these things. I know, 1 or more, sorry, 1 or more. That's why I looked at the cost and saw 6 and I was like, what? Yeah, 1 or more. Casualties of War. Can destroy whatever makes sense for you. Amphin Mutineer. So this is a... Yeah, this is a... exile 1 target non-land creature. That creature becomes something like another salamander. It's a removal that creates a salamander. Quite strong salamander, by the way. River Kelpie. Whenever this creature or another permanent enters the grave, you draw a card. Whenever a player casts a spell from the grave, you draw a card. And it also has Persist. Doughty Voidwalker. These guys, I remember these guys from Tempest, so they came back. These shadow creatures, they came back later. Well, if the commander was shadow, that would be very good. Disciple of Bolas. Nicol Bolas. Junji, the Midnight Sky. Legendary Dragon. Spirit as well. Flying Menace. When Junji dies, you choose one. Each opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. Or you put target non-dragon creature card from the graveyard into the battlefield under your control, but you lose 2 life. So Junji goes, but it doesn't go alone. Little Scheme. The guy is being attacked from everywhere with knives. Oh, the Living Death. The Living Death. Every player exiles all creature cards from their graveyard, then sacrifices creatures they control, then puts all the exiled cards back into the battlefield. So it just exchanges whatever is in graves with whatever is on the battlefield. The Living Dead, the Knight of the Living Dead. Lord of Forsaken, flying and trample, and then you sacrifice another creature, target player mills 3 cards. And then you pay 1 life to add 1 mana, spend this mana to cast spells from the graveyard. Spell, so you can pay mana to cast, pay life to cast things cheaper from grave. After milling. Necromantic Selection, as some people say. You know, in Magic, life is a resource, so you can use it to also cast things. Necromantic Selection. Destroy all creatures, then return a creature card from the graveyard then return a creature card put into graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. It's a zombie in addition to all the other things, and this spell goes away. I7 could be a keyboard wipe, removing everything, and then you bring that dragon back. Necropolis Fiend. 9 mana. 12. Could become cheaper with the 12 thing. But just to have a 4/5 that has flying, and then you exile cards from grave and you kill creatures. But too many exiles from grave here. Too many exiles. Noxorius Gearhulk. Obnixilis. With landfall. Tazigur, the Golden Fang. Where's the Golden Fang? I just see a whip there. A human shaman that 12s. 12s and mills. 12s and mills. Old Strider. Avenger of Zendikar. Create plants equal to the number of lands you control, and then landfall puts +1/+1 on each plant. So super dangerous on landfall decks. So there's a bit of landfall here. This deck, you've seen it. Conduit of the Worlds. Second of a tree. Multani, Yavimai's Avatar. Gets +1/+1 for each land you control and each land card in your graveyard. So it's even better than the basic Multani. Sigeki, the Jukai Visionary. Consuming Aberration. Jarad, Golgari Lichlord. Jarad gets +1 for each creature in your grave. And then you sacrifice creatures, others. Each opponent loses life equal to the creature's power. That's cool. And you can sacrifice forest to return this card from the graveyard to your hand. So, wow, this guy never goes away. Never goes away. I think there was a dual deck with this guy. I'm not sure. I think I brought it to the channel. There was a Golgari dual deck. And this was the not the commander, because there were no commanders, but there was a Jarad there. And what about this huge beast for 5? An elemental. Power and toughness equal to the number of cards in all graveyards. All graveyards, including the mill deck. This guy is a beast. A beast, the Lord of Extinction. Moran of the clan Nelthoth. Wow, what the hell is that? Whenever another creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. That's why we had the experience counter. At the beginning of your end step, choose target creature in your grave. If that card is less or equal to the number of experience, she goes back to the battlefield. Okay, so this is a good creature for you to have on the side, piling up, growing. Command now some of the lands that you need to make these 3 colors work. Let's keep it a bit faster. We've seen these lands a ton of times. Okay, signets, tower, and then forbidden alchemy. Edron crab, which has landfall. Treasure cruise. That's very, very expensive, even with 12. Wonder. The hell is that? An incarnation. It's kind of a bird. As long as this card is in your grave and you control an island, creatures you control are flying. Okay, so let's mill it and leave that on the grave. Firex and Reclamation. Return target creature card from grave to your hand. Reassembling. Skeleton also returns to trigger all those returning cards. Stitcher Supplier. Victimize. Kishless Skimmer. Crawling Sensation. Forsaken. The Grapple. Grapple in the Past. Harrow. Opulent Palace for the Sultai colors. Rampant Growth. Sakura Tribe Elder, known as Steve or whatever. Druids, Tear Asunder, the Timeless Whisperer. Grizzly Savage, Nynx Weaver, Putrefy, School Prophet, Milliken, and I guess we are getting to the final lands. That's it. Some of them are different than usual, not just a normal dual lands. And then the terrains, and that's it. That's it. Yeah. One more to go. One more to join the forces of the commander decks, the Sultai Arisen. I hope you liked this video to the point that you consider then hitting that like button and subscribing. I have a big playlist dedicated to Magic the Gathering, as well as for all the other major card games out there, as well as board games, a big list for board games. And if you like podcasts, then I have a podcast called The Table Talks, where I'm interviewing people to get to know their stories, their profiles, their projects while we play board games online. So I definitely think that you will find interesting content in the channel to consider subscribing and to be a part of this community. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.